Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. It's the daily news. It's kind of late. Sorry guys, I've had a day. Anyway, that's not important. Try to do the best I can with this. So, before I get into the event breakdown, I just want to start with the ending of the showdown. So, last hour, we, if you were paying attention or on the game, they added pulls to the event in League 24. So Showdown for the weekend. So Showdown actually potentially mattered more than it did. Um, that's pretty frustrating, like in general, for lots of people. You know, you might have checked out early because there was nothing to play for, or very little, and then all of a sudden there was pulls added to it. Then on top of that, in the last hour, you had a bunch of game issues, which I think, are, as far as I know, are still going on. Um, Yeah, it's kind of was a big mess, right? So, reversals were gone, weird pins, a lot of them on combo moves and stuff, just making it super hard to play the end of the event. So it's kind of like foobar, right? Like it's never what you want to see on an event. Changing the, I thought initially, like, because there's no loopholes, I didn't even think it was the weekend loot. You watched that daily news. I thought it was what I thought the points were for the event going on because there was no loopholes. So I actually messed that up myself. Um, and then when someone's like, "No, it's for the weekend," I'm like, "That's weird. I wonder if this is messed up." I actually thought that. And then they added the 21 loopholes at the end. So I really hate that. I mean, like, to me, when you're playing a game, you're potentially spending or planning or whatever, and all of a sudden what you're playing for becomes more impactful or more meaningful, but in the last hour, that's pretty lame, right? Like, so if people were paying attention, then all of a sudden, oh, I'll spend $10 and get 21 pulls. You weren't paying attention, maybe you were in first and now you're not. That can't happen, right? That just simply can't happen. So that sucks. I don't know what went wrong with the game. Obviously, the game being foobar with the reversals and that stuff, that Scopely can't control that, right? That one they can't control. It is what it is. It's a mess. And I'm sure there'll be some kind of compensation accordingly. But that's not a forced error. The adding of the loot coins at the end when it should have been there the whole time, apparently, that's a forced error, right? That's what shouldn't happen. That's a mistake that there's zero reason for it to happen. Um, and then the game being borked just added to it, right? So, yeah, it's a mess. And well, I have no idea what they're gonna do, but they should do something. Um, because it basically, you know, anyone in the upper league completely screws the contest for them potentially. All right, so I'm gonna try and put that aside and then focus on what what I can focus on here, which is the weekend event. So before I dive into this, guys, if you want Kofi, he's up um for $100. You can straight up buy him. It comes with pulls. You get pulls for the event. You get Kofi for $100 for the weekend character. I don't know if he's worth it. I haven't play tested him. Like I said, it's been a day. Um, so after this, I'm gonna try and do a preview today. We'll see how that goes. Also, Tech Brock got buffed. I'll try and get a video on him today or tomorrow. Um, yeah, we'll see. But so if you want Kofi, that's by far the most efficient way. Just go buy him for $100. Um, you're gonna also, as you can see, get a bunch of bonus solo points in CSS and stuff, I would assume. Anyway, let's kind of dig into this. So tours have 7.2 million points. I have some milestones to claim. I'm actually on Mherex account, but CSS, new Kofi at 6-star gold, new Woods at 6-star silver, Smash at 6-star bronze, and Haku at 6-star silver. You can see, other than Kofi, it's not a ton of points, but it is points. Faction contest, 2.5 million. Midweek showdown up to 900,000. That depends on your league and where you placed, right? Free portal claims, 300,000. And then your total points 10 million plus CSS plus Showdown. It's throwing me off seeing Showdown, right? Because it's a boss event, but there were points in the Showdown for it, so that keeps throwing me off. This assumes maxing all tours, all faction contest points, and Discord being accurate on tour points, right? So there's always stuff to factor into this. So yeah, long story short, total points 10 million plus your CSS plus where you got in Showdown. So let's take a look. Final milestones 989. You got Kofi shards, 2,350 Prizewall medallions, Elba stuff, few Prizewall medallions in here, and that looks like about it for Prizewall medallions, these two, right? So then you go to the bonus milestones, and doesn't look good right away, for sure. Probably because they're selling Kofi for, straight up 110.5. There's another 2,000 Prizewall currency. Then it starts adding up 10.7, 11, right? 11.5, there's 10,000. It just starts adding up. So let's say you decide to buy Kofi. It's on the portal, right? You get him, assuming this hasn't changed. Let me refresh my page just in case. It's $100. You get Kofi at 6-star bronze, 47 pulls, 100,000 points, right? So if you were to buy Kofi, where's the, here we go. 10,000 per pull, 470,000. So you get 570,000 points plus the 2.25 million for Kofi. So that puts you up to like 275. If you're spending $100 for him, you probably have something else in there plus Showdown. So, call it like 3 million extra ish. So if you were at like 10 million, maybe you get to like 13 million for $100. Maybe a little bit better depending on how your faction does and that kind of stuff, etc. But anyway, that gets you almost to the second to last milestone, right? Last one is a long, long way away. So yeah, like I said, if you're gonna do it, straight up buying Kofi seems like the way to go to me. Um, Kind of brings us over to the Prizewall coins. Free solo 4,400, bonus solo, free-ish 0 starts at 10.5 mil milestone right here. Maybe free-ish depending on Showdown placement, right? So like in my case, I got second because I was dealing with crap. So I wasn't on the game. So I got 720,000. So like 10.7 for me would be free, like this one, right? Plus I have some CSS, so that would add to it. I actually have Smash and Haku, so I'm more like 11 right here for free, right? So it kind of just all depends. Some of you you'll be much lower, like my free to play would be much lower. Faction event, it has up to 10,000 in the faction leaderboard, and then there's the RNG bag, 20,000 to 50,000, or the new plate. New plate is like the Kamala plate, or Sheik plate. Activate a move, purple move, get 100% purple move damage for 2 turns. So free-ish 5,400 plus faction leaderboard plus RNG bag. Assumes all tour faction event points. Faction bag is a minimum of 20,000 if you don't hit the plate. So maybe like 30,000 is realistic if you don't hit the plate. Did you get a bunch of stuff done, etc. Right? 30,000 currency sort of deal. So yeah, I don't know, right? Like, but Kofi, you're gonna end up getting 4,400 plus another, that's 2,000. So you're at like 6-4, 10-4, 15-4, 25-4, 35, and potentially this 35, 45, like 51. Potentially this might be a little bit of a stretch, but Portal has bonus milestones for spending, so I'm assuming you'd get there. So what do we say that was, like 54,000 medallions with Kofi? The reason I'm doing this, guys, is because usually I say, like, if you're gonna spend, save, wait for a better time. Let's look at the faction event if it's in here. Kind of check that out. Check the leaderboard. So you can like safely figure, you know, your top 50 faction 5,000. It's not nothing, right? So the problem with it is going to be the rewards, the bag reward for the final milestone. You really don't want to probably hit the plate. I can't think of anyone super right off, but I've had a day, so don't take that with a grain of salt. I would much rather hit this and hopefully hit the middle average like 35,000 than get the skill plate, right? I don't think it's that great of a skill plate necessarily, potentially, but again, I could be wrong, so take it with a grain of salt. As for the rest of the bonus milestones, they seem not too big a deal. It's really this bag, so it's all or nothing with the faction event. There's 1,000 in here. That's okay. 700 here, so you get some there too. That's cool. Yeah, that's good. I like that. All right, so that's kind of where it's at, guys. Like I said, solo tasks, they're in here. 23 for Kofi and a 14. It's combined the 2.25 woods, you know, etc., right? So let's take a look at this prize wall. And I haven't really looked at much of anything, guys, so this is pretty much going to be initial response to it, or initial reaction. So the plate's straight up 37.5. Like I said, I'd rather have 35k prize wall currency. And that's not to say you'll get 35k. You could easily hit 20. You could, you know, probably not easily hit 50. I'm sure probably weighted more towards lower middle, you know. So there's that. Obviously, I don't like these. I think this is grossly overpaying. Stay away from those. There's a really good plate selection. Frankie's plates on there, but even if you buy Kofi, I mean, you probably get there if you're spending 100 with the portal rewards too. You probably get there or relatively close. You might just miss though. You'd have to do that math yourself. I don't have it broken down that much. But you would start to be in like this range. So you have like It's a Trap, possibly Viscera plate, Punk's gauntlets, purple crossfire, black cross. I really like these crossfires, to be honest, guys. Black would be awesome on Smash. Purple, who's purple? I don't know. My brain is not really working right, but I do like the black one. That's kind of the one I would go for Smash, to be honest. This one. Who was I thinking for purple earlier? I could swear there was someone. Oh well, whatever. Someone will tell me in the comments, and I'll feel dumb. Really like It's a Trap. Obviously, that's super strong for a ton of trap people. This is very niche, mostly Viscera and then SE Cena, right? But it's very good for both of them. Punk's Gauntlets is awesome at 48k for sure. This one is horribly priced. Stay away from this one. It's basically just a boss plate. You don't want this. Specific colors on the boss man plates, don't particularly love it. Rainbow is really the one you want to go for, probably, although it's the same damage, so whatever. Total Silence, not bad at 10, 9 in here. Much better than, say, a Barber's Blade Purple, right? Because it's got that multiply potential. So I do Green Transfusion, it's alright, but whatever. Not a huge damage boost, and then leeches. It's tough to make this work for a lot of damage. So I do think overall it's a pretty good plate selection. You get some of these chuckers in here. In particular, what really jumps out at me though, obviously the Frankie plate. That to me is the premier plate on here. After that though, like I think these two are also really great if you don't get here, right? Punk, Devon, Naya, just to name a few, right? Live, Tech Live. And then I really like the Black Crossfire potentially for Smash. And Smash is pretty cool, right? In general, especially you start looking at his gear and stuff. I really like this one, to be honest. Yeah. Shards. Let's look at the shards. So I like the Alexa shards. I think that's great pricing if you still don't have Alexa. And then you got really expensive Jacqueline shards. It's a lot. Going to be tough to get. DK Cena. Potentially get you there. Love the pricing and the fact that Brutus is up here for people that don't have him 6-star. Like my free to play will be all over this if I can get there. Drew Shards, Kamal, like they're just kind of, these are basically in the price zone here. These ones where you're buying Kofi to get these shards if you want to get them, pretty much, unless you get lucky from the bag. This one you could maybe get cheaper if you do well on the bag, right? Potentially, your faction maxes. So I don't mind necessarily any of the pricing on these. They're all very good superstars, right? All of them. I just wish it was more affordable. I would much rather see like 175 at the half price, sort of thing. I kind of get why they do it. I think they're tying most of this. The straps are horrible pricing. Stay away from those. And econ is also terrible. Stay away from those. Um, Personally, that's my opinion. So for me, like my free to play is all over these two things. That's what I'm looking at. Unless I do well in the chest. I mean, like if my faction maxes and I get to somehow like 26,000 or something, you better believe I'll take a black crossfire, because Smash is someone I'll probably unlock in the next couple months. I'll take that over anything, for sure. Right, if I get there. If I don't get there, Total Silence I would absolutely grab next. Right, and then the Disciple. I would take the Disciple and the Alexa shards on the free to play. On Mherex, I don't need any of the shards, right? So it makes it, and I'm on Mherex account right now, but I don't need any of the shards, so those don't hold anything really for me. Um, so I would start looking at plates. I mean, almost for sure I'm gonna get Kofi, right? Like I can't imagine I won't. I did with Visser, I probably will with Kofi. Hard to pass that up for me. Because you get Kofi, and then I'm gonna get a high ticket plate too, like at least one. So I don't have one of these. I have two gauntlets. I think I have two Itza traps, but I really, really want a black crossfire, like bad. So part of me might just take both of these instead of my first Viscera plate, because the crossfire plates I think are really good, and I only have one multicolor one, rainbow, but not the rest. So this is very tempting for me. Purple flurries isn't bad either. Um, but the snowfall ones, I feel like you really, really need the rainbow, like really need the rainbow in most cases. So there's that. I have two Frankie the Parrots. If I got to 63, it'd be hard not to take a third, because there's so many places they're good on. But also at the same time, I don't have one of these and I don't have one of these. So yeah, I feel like I'll probably end up going this route on Mherex. I got a couple total silences. I have a rainbow botchman, so I don't really care about those, and these ones don't do anything for me personally. So that's probably what I'll do on my accounts. If you guys were curious, if that helps. Um, Total silence is great on some people though. So if it's something you can use, I think it's very reasonably priced. It's also good to have at least one on your account, because there will be times where you're going to want this played in the future, I am sure. Um, so yeah, that's kind of break the Prizewall down into your upper bracket here, right? So like this, in which case I feel like there's not necessarily, I mean, like, depending on what you need, there's not necessarily a wrong answer with these three. A lot of places this is great on. A lot of places this is great on, and a lot of places this is great on. Right? So it's kind of up to you. This is kind of the loser in that upper bracket. In this next medium bracket, right? I'll call it medium. I think the big winner is the Black Crossfire, in particular for Smash. That's the one that stands out to me. This is the worst pricing by far. Don't touch this with a 100-foot pole. Then in the next bracket, I think the total silence is what jumps out easily. Anytime you can get 8 multiply gems times 8, it has the potential to be huge. Even if there's not a lot of people it might be great for now or on your roster, that's when you want to bank and have one on your roster, right? And I hate this pricing. It doesn't really, 75% is hardly anything, guys. This is grossly overpriced, in my opinion, for what it can do. And green leeches, and these kind of So it's kind of a no-brainer in this bracket to me. And then, you move to the shards, and it's just there's the three brackets, or basically you have the big bracket, which is those two, medium bracket, which is these two, and then your baby bracket. So it's kind of whatever you need, prefer, sort of thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's that much of a tricky prize wall for the most part. I think a lot of it's straightforward. The trickiest is if you're buying Kofi, because then you're going to have more options and you might be like, well, geez, guys, I would love to make Smash awesome. So the Crossfire is tempting, right? I mean, he can put the cross breaks out twice, get 600% gem damage off of this. You know, just if you got the Repo Man gear, you know, you put the anniversary cross break plate on as well. I mean, Smash gets pretty nasty pretty quick, to be honest. Um, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of what I got there. I think I've spent enough time on the prize walls. I'm, like I said, I'm discombobulated today. It's a weird, really weird day for me. I'm out of my norm. I haven't looked at any of the tours yet, so this is kind of on me. Sorry. Oh, geez, they dropped a metric crap ton of stuff today. Oh, all right. So 24-hour only. You're buying Kofi. Do it today. You get 2,000 extra shards. Some tokens for leveling him up. He is a trickster. Oh, and 10,000 extra medallions. Yeah, you buy Kofi, you're probably getting the Frankie plate if you want it, right? So it's $100 for Kofi and a Frankie plate. That's not terrible. Like, yeah. That's why I say, like, those nickel and dime $20 spends that don't add up to much, just save it for times like this, right? To me, it's kind of a no-brainer if you're a spender. And if you weren't saving, then actually save. Quit spending. Buy this and then just don't spend the next 5 or so, you know, offers you want. This one looks pretty. Let me look on normal. Oh, I see it's a Voldemort tour on the challenge. Whatever. Oh, they're just boosting stuff. They're not taking anything away? All right, cool. Cross breaks, blast, black, purple. No problem. And this is wide open. I mean, Judgment Day Dom. My free-to-play can't run it because I don't have JD Dom yet. I would if I had been playing during that time, though, so, you know, most people will have him. So this one's fine, I feel like. And that was the... Let's go challenge mode. Any trickster? Is it era? Ruthless aggression, huh? Yeah, oh, Eddie could be okay. Yeah, Eddie would be okay. You could get through with Eddie, some MP downs and stuff, some Shangos, and a lot of you should have Eddie. So that could be way worse. That could definitely be way worse. Okay. Yeah, let's check hard. Not ideal, though. What era is this? Attitude era tricksters? That's probably going to be Mosh for most people. Macho, if you have him, would be great. Oh, WCW Ray. You can move, if you have a Yeet Maker, you could move it there. Hogan, Rock. There's a lot of decent options here, to be honest. So that one's fine. Is normal modern? Yeah, cool. All right, that's not terrible for challenge, I guess. And then what do we have on these? Let's should all be the same. So let's just legends have arrived, huh? Okay. So might not be the most fun with Bundy or Jesse, but Coco and Bray. So yeah, they're pretty open. I don't mind those. That's not bad. Tours look fine. Don't believe there's anything expiring today, obviously, other than Speed Tour. So make sure you do that, right? Also, yeah, that's, I think, what we got there. So let's do some loot offer review. I got second in my showdown. I do have 14 pulls. Kind of sitting on them to decide what I'm doing with them. I don't know that I'm going to buy the $20 pack for 20 because then I would also need to buy another one on top of buying Kofi, right? But the Kofi comes with 47, so maybe I will, maybe I won't. Anyway, it's complicated. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to pull them right now. Mega rare is 18%, rare 31, common 50, featured 1%. And you get 4 guaranteed featured, which is Kofi. So, I mean, it's weird because you're buying Kofi and then you get a bunch of pulls for Kofi. So you kind of don't want to hit featured, if that makes sense. So if you buy Kofi, I would do 7 pulls for the Mega Rare. Get one guaranteed mega rare, because you don't want 4 Kofis, right? If you buy them. So I would just do the mega rare pulls, the 7 pulls, and try it if you need something in here, that is. Brock's in there with the rework. Um, Drew, CM Punk, Howdy, Swoggle. He's not in Leets very often, actually, on Swoggle. Chain Gang Cena, Bex, Rex Regum, you know, Braun Breaker. So, some Hall of Fame. Interesting. Some real garbage in here, like legitimate Austin. Some good stuff filtered in, but definitely some real garbage as well. I mean, the odds of hitting something not great, right? But I would still do 7 pulls if you buy Kofi, right? You don't really care about the featured, so 7 pulls are fine. I may, since I don't care about featured, I may just do the pulls for you guys. Actually, I might change my mind, because just looking at this, if I and if I spend, it doesn't make sense to not buy Kofi. So, in for a penny, in for a pound. So maybe I will just do them. Let's see what we got in. Honestly, there's nothing besides Kofi I don't think I even need in here. So, yeah, that's kind of, I think I have everything else. So shards in here, some decent ones, potentially. Muscle Man, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then let's look at the commons. Naomi, some Howdy shards, Yeet shards, OTC. Yeah, I actually don't need anything in the loop besides Mr. Kofi. So we'll go ahead, guys. There's no way I'm gonna care about what I doing a mega or not if I buy Kofi. So we'll do 2 sets of 7 for you guys. See what we get. Macho Man fuse. All right, I'll take fuses. I mean, this is starting off okay. Pat Patterson fuse. If that goes all the way to 6-star, all right. Some shards. Some more shards. 150 Naya. Silver. Yes. Macho King again. That's funny. I was 1 shard away from him forever, by the way. NOD Rock, and then 6-star, it looks like. Let's see what we get. Judgment Day Reassurance. Alright, let's do 7 more. We actually hit 3 mega rares, but 2 fuses from the Showdown. I'm good with that. Let's go again. A long daily news. You guys are getting your money's worth today. Hall of Fame Lex shards. JD Dom. Oh, wow. Alright, let's go. Aw, Raquel shards. Not even a fuse. Chain Gang Cena shards. 30 Dom shards. Let's see what we're getting. Chain Gang Cena again. This is actually better than I thought it would be in general, but not amazing, obviously. Gunther shards. Alright. So 2 fuses out of that. Whatever. Kind of gives you guys an idea. Like I said, to me, Kofi makes sense if you're just going to buy him on the portal. Also, in buying him, you get a bunch of portal rewards. So that's like 25, 45, 72 something, 122,000 solo points as well. And then there's a bunch of medallions if you buy them on the portal as well. In the bonus spend milestone, 27, 36, 42... 4,700 bonus medallions too, plus the 10,000 from his tour. So, I mean, if you're going to spend, that's kind of the way to do it. It doesn't really make much sense to me otherwise. But that's just my opinion, right? So take it for what it's worth. It's free and it's worth the same. All right, that's that. Let's look at the offers in the game. and see if they match the portal. Here's the 20 for 21. Again, doesn't really make sense to me. Just buy Kofi straight out. Trickster shards if you need it for evolving Kofi. I mean, that's kind of cool. They put that there, I guess. Whatever. Brawn Breaker. You could have got him on the wall. You didn't. If you don't, if you don't have Brawn Breaker, this is the best $10 you can spend in the game. Do yourself a favor and buy Brawn Breaker for $10. I mean, if you normally don't spend, this is $10 you should spend if you don't have him. You could have got him for free last month. If you're a newer player, though, whatever. He's a dual MP trainer. You'll thank me later. Buy him for $10. Mr. Perfect. I like the guaranteed, but Mr. Perfect's kind of butt. Always has been, in my opinion. Some people used to like him. I've always hated him because I love Mr. Perfect and I want him to be good, and he wasn't. Don't buy this, just buy Kofi. Yeah, that's kind of it for that. I already opened my thing because I wasn't planning on doing the news on this account or whatever. But I'm just not feeling great, and I've had a weird day, so I'm just winging it, guys. So that kind of looks like everything. I mean, we went over the loot. Yeah, I don't think I really have anything else to show. So that's let me know what you guys think. I like that they sell the guaranteed card. I'm not gonna lie. I know $100 is expensive, but when you're chasing weekend cards, a lot of times it's more expensive than that, and it's guaranteed. I've like so many, and you get pulls with it on top of it. So many times people, and that's available only on the portal, by the way, guys. People spend $100, they get nothing, and they feel gross, right? This one, you get Kofi, you know exactly what you're getting. You're gonna get a plate. Assuming you do your other stuff, right? A really good plate and stuff. So it just kind of quotation marks value wise makes sense. And this is typically what I mean when I say there's better times to spend. Do it when you get guaranteed stuff. And this is one of those times. So hopefully this helps, guys. I hope you have a good weekend. I apologize that there's no preview yet. We got them an hour. We got him an hour-ish before it went live, and I was having to work on stuff on my house. And then the game was all foobar anyway. So kind of was waiting for that to die down. I'm going to try and refocus here and work on that preview and then mess around with Brock for you guys, but it may not be till tomorrow, so I apologize. So anyway, guys, if you made it to the end, thanks for sticking around. Know I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy life, enjoy your family, and other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Good luck out there. Yeah, I find the end of the contest things was super annoying. I'm on the struggle bus with that. That can't happen. Those forced errors or unforced errors, right? The game being borked is understandable. Like crap happens, but to putting the loot coins in at the very end, and not letting anyone know, no in-game mail or anything even about it. Yeah, that's some BS.